Hello and welcome to another Good Game Empire video. Today I will be showing you what the new update brings to the game. So this is the September update and we're gonna take a closer look at everything which got changed and also the bugs which got somehow put into the game, added into the game. There's a lot of them, so I'm gonna talk you through everything which was added, changed, broken and fixed. Okay, so the first change we're gonna take a look is the Anti-Toolburn system. Basically, which got introduced in the game when you go to the defense settings and you go for the tool trigger limit. This is the new feature called like it shows in the game. So this works like if the attack size is lower than this limit, you're not gonna waste your defensive tools. Like they're not going to be used during defense of your castle. So if the incoming attack to your castle is lower than this limit, it's not gonna waste your tools. So this has actually two sides, because you can imagine, like, this is a very controversial change, because imagine there is a huge Ruby player who buys a Ruby packages, who spins Wheel of Affluence and has a lot of mid units during war and is very strong. So the biggest problem for him might be tool barrels. They are for sure very irritating for him. So let's take a look at who can actually send a tool baron to such a player. Is it going to be another big player? Probably no. Probably the people who are sending tool burners are mostly free-to-play players who don't spend money in the game, so their castles get burned during first weeks of the war and they don't have too much to do because they don't spend money on the game. They can try to recruit some units to send defenses to support, but the biggest support they can actually give is sending tool burners to the targets at the same time, which when the biggest players in their alliance are sending their heavy attacks. So with the toolburner, anti-toolburner system, the free-to-play players aren't now able to support their alliance with the toolburner attacks. So this is not possible right now, and this, as I said, has two sides. So it's very positive for Ruby players, people who were the target of toolburners, but this is very such a negative change for people who are sending free-to-play, so who are sending toolburners, and this was mainly free-to-play players. So now they are not able to support the alliance in that way, and the last thing they can do is maybe checking accounts and stuff like that. So they got they got less things to do in the war. I need also to mention that this limit is different for each of your castles, so you can set it separately for all of your outposts, main castles and kingdom castles. The maximum value of this thing is 2000 units and the minimum is 0. So I suggest you to not set it too high, because when you, for example, set it to 1000 because you think like 1000 units are small, 1000 units attacks are small, I don't care, and you're gonna receive an attack which goes by only one flank which you defend. And for example, there is a attack of 1019 units in this example. Well, the attacker cannot tell exactly what's your number of this new feature, of this tool trigger limit, but if they send a bit less than you have set, they're going to wipe your wall basically, because you're not gonna use your tools in this attack. And if they send all the units on one flank where you defend, this can be very dangerous to your units, to your defensive units, and you can get easily wall wiped. So you need to pay attention and don't set it too high, please. I would suggest to set it between 400 and 500, maybe 600 if you have a lot of units on the wall with this new temporary elements and appearance items for your castle, but not more than this amount. Okay, so now let's move forward, and the second big change is the rework for the brewery. So the brewery got a huge difference in how it works, and let's start with maybe what you are used to, probably most of you. So filling your castles. Where you are low on the mid, you're probably setting the brewery to 100% and leaving it until it's going to fill the storage and set itself on a small minus. This doesn't work now. So basically, not depending on this thing, I'm gonna explain this in a second, but firstly, however, like in any way you set your brewery is going to be on positive. It's not going to turn off automatically, so it cannot turn automatically in any way. So if you set it, for example, to 100%, as you can see, the storage is full of meat and it's still producing. So it's still producing, which means it's using honey all the time, and it's using your food all the time. And you need to pay attention very carefully to this, because if you set this to 100% and you forget about that, you're gonna lose all the food, the honey, and you're gonna have problem with some food shortages. So pay close attention, don't set it to 100%, just set it to 1% more than you need, to not be on minus but to be on plus. And for example, in my situation it's gonna be 10%, so I have a small plus. I'm wasting a bit of honey and food, but in cost of wasting them I have positive, not negative production of meat. But yeah, you need to pay attention not having it too high, because you can get food shortages. And talking about shortages, this is the second change to the brewery, and the setting to allocate food to brewery before supplying troops. But this means the food troops. So basically how it works, if you turn this on, this means that the food troops are going to be less important than the meat troops when it goes to food shortage. So previously it was like, firstly your meat units die, you sacrifice meat units in order to save the food units. So you are like deleting meat units, and the brewery was going to lower its percent of this change, so the percent was going actually down to reduce the food consumption by the brewery, to allow all the food units to survive. And this was like, the outcome of this could be like, in my example, as you can see, my mic points are way lower than they used to be, because I had a food shortage and I had 30,000 horrors in my castle, and I also had 450,000 meat units in my castle. And what happened when I had a food shortage? Well, the brewery set itself to 0% to stop using food, to sacrifice the meat units in order to save the food units. And the outcome of this was that I sacrificed 450,000 meat units to save 30,000 horrors. So this is also the point where you can see that meat units consume way lower amount of food, so you can have a lot more of them. And this is the option that I highly suggest to you if you have mainly meat units in your castle. So this can be also set separately for every brewery in your castles. And I suggest to you to turn this on when you have mostly meat units in your castle, because you're probably not going to want to sacrifice meat units, like more of them, to save a small amount of food units. So I suggest to turn this on. It might have some bugs, I didn't check it because I don't want to have any shortages, but it should work properly, so I suggest to you to keep this setting on. Okay, so another thing is the offensive and defensive tools of the new generation, I would say. So with having upgraded the keep to level 7, you can unlock some workshops on level 4, and this allows you to produce the new tools. So they are listed here, we can see the first row, and you can actually see details of these tools in your workshops. So when you scroll to the last page of siege and as well defense units, tools, you can see details of these tools. So they have bonuses shown here. For example, this is the first two offensive tools, the fortified ram and the glory tower. So fortified ram has a gate reduction, the castle gate protection reduction, as well as ranged soldiers defense minus 15%. So it acts like kind of like partial it's a ram, and partial it's a shield. So it like combines the two bonuses, and you can see that the bonus, like the kind of tool, is combo. So basically you also have a tool limit per wave, so you cannot use more in wave than this amount, and you can upgrade them. They have 11 levels, so starting at level 0, at level 1, not 0, because units start at level 0, tools start at level 1 for some reason and go not to level 10 but 11. I have no idea what's the reason behind that, to the different than the units, but okay. So as you can see, the bonuses rise when you upgrade the levels up to the level 11, where it also has more ranged soldiers defense as well as gate. The limit stays the same. So the second combo tool is the glory tower. So it acts kind of like shield and kind of like the glory banner. You also have a tool limit per wave, which rises actually with upgrading this tool from 20 to 30. Also the amount of soldiers defense rises, and the glory points is higher, the bonus. So this is the offensive tools, and for defensive we've got two right now. So this is the Thunder Crash Bomb, and the name says bomb, but this actually has a bonus to defense of ranged units. So it's ranged soldiers defense plus 50%. It acts like a defensive tool, so you can put it on the wall when defending. So it also gives you a gate protection. So it's kind of the gate and kind of arrow slit, and it is a bomb. Okay, anyways, the bonuses rise with higher levels, up to 80% gate and 90 soldiers defense, ranged soldiers defense bonus. This is very high, but probably you can only put this on the front. You cannot put this on flanks because this grants you the castle gate protection. So how are you going to put this on the flanks? Probably you cannot. So the second defensive tool is the trebuchet. I'm not sure if I'm spelling this correctly. Anyways, yeah, it also has 11 levels, and these bonuses rise. So it gives you the castle wall protection as well as the moat protection bonus. And as you can see, they rise to 80 by 120. Yeah, so pretty strong tools, both for siege and defense. So they're going to like reduce each other. Siege tools are going to be more powerful, but as well defensive tools are going to be more powerful. Yeah, so this is everything about the tools, but we also have got another kind of tools. So this one is called actually a support tools, and this is going to be a tool which can be used in whole battle, only one tool. So let's take a look at the defensive slots which were added to the game. So when you open the defensive window and you go to the keep tab, you can see that there are 3 slots. They are kind of hidden because it's pretty hard to see the color difference, but anyways, yeah, you have 3 new slots on the keep, and you need required defensive workshop level 4. So yeah, following this sentence, you need to have the defensive workshop level 4 in order to unlock them. And you're going to be able to put defensive tools here, and defensive tools act like they are used only one per whole attack coming to your castle, and they are going to grant a bonus which works for the whole battle. So probably the bonus is going to be more unit strength. We can now only guess, but we're going to know later what bonuses do they give. I'm not sure if this is going to be new kind of tools, but probably as you saw on this picture, they don't look like the tools shown in the first row of the new tools. So we're gonna see. Anyways, how do they act? But the one is going to be for defense, and there's also going to be one for attacks. So when you make an attack, you can actually, not right now you cannot, but as we know, this update is performed over months, and you're probably going to see a new tool slot because they claim that this is going to be a tool able to be put in a new offensive attack slot for tool. So we're gonna probably see some new interface in the attack slot, in the attack interface. Anyways, you're gonna be able to put it in a new slot, and it's going to grant a bonus for whole battle. And we're going to see what it is in the following months. And right now we can only guess. So the last change I'm going to talk about is the research change. So in Blueprints tab, they're actually now sorted by their type of the bonuses they grant. So there are some for battlefield, kind of like more agents for espionage, more like faster healing and stuff like that. Troops and tools, so this is for your barracks and workshops to have faster or cheaper production. Trade and storage, so this is for more market barrels as well as bigger storages. Also for production, so this is basically what you need to have higher productions. Military relic and economy relic, so these two tabs are for the beyond the horizon stuff. So military is from the beyond the horizon resources to have more units on front and flank, higher strength on courtyard of melee and ranged. And the economy relic is more production to the granaries for food, more production to the brewery, bigger storage to brewery, and for usual meat and all this kind of stuff. You also, like, this interface got changed 1 month ago in the previous update, which I haven't talked about, I think. Anyways, you also have a recommended technology button, and there's a tab of crafting research requires research tower level 5. So this is actually a tab where we're going to have the how is it called? It's called so you're actually going to need some handbooks in order to produce the new tools, and the handbooks can be upgraded in the research tower when you reach level 5, and you're going to be able to shorten the time of production, they make cheaper costs, and also kind of that stuff. So I have described all the things you need to do in order to produce the new tools. So what researches you need to make, what buildings you need to build, what resources you need to produce the new tools. So I'm gonna leave a link in the description. Well, the website gg.guide isn't finished yet, but it's gonna be finished in the following weeks. But I'm leaving you a automatic translation of my Polish version, poradnik-gg.pl, and you can read here about how the process is done in order to create these new tools. We're gonna see this in the battlefield in maybe 1.5, maybe 2 years, because this requires from us to collect 13,000 seeds in order to start producing all these things, and also a lot of tokens. So anyways, this was everything from the update, which it brings new into the game, new features. But now about the bugs. So we've got some bugs that player claim that they have more waves of attack, like waves of attack in the attack, but they cannot send these attacks. They get some errors, so this is only the visual bug. But there's also a not visual bug. There's actually a existing bug after this update that you cannot put more than the limit, the old limit, like of units at the flanks, at the front. So this was very dependent on your commander bonus, on your Hall of Legends bonus, on your Beyond the Horizon Relic combat build items, as well as temporary build items and appearance items for the commander. So right now none of this works on the units on limit, and right now the limit is default. So as you can see, this is the old attack size, 1920, the old attack size, and we're just waiting for the hotfix for this update. Good Game Studios claim that the update, the hotfix should be performed today, so we're looking for the update, the fix of all the bugs, because there's a lot of bugs. Some players claim that they lost part of their coins. Some players claim that they lost all of their rubies from the account, so there's many different bugs. Some players have like 16 waves of attack on Berrymont camps, so I can't see any reason behind this. Like, it's just a bug, and this update brought to us a lot of bugs, so we're looking for the bug fix today or maybe tomorrow. And if you lost something, remember to write to the support and to get the stuff back to your account. Okay, so that was actually everything about today's update, the August update of 2021. If you liked the video, if it was helpful and informative to you, you can leave a like or thumbs up. I would really enjoy that. If you think that the video was not useful or something, you can give a negative review with a thumbs down. And if you're watching a lot of my videos, you can subscribe to the channel if you haven't yet. And see you in the next one. Thanks for watching, and bye.